Why is there sameness throughout something that's special, right? Sameness is commodity, right? How do you break away from sameness? You have to put in the work. You have to ask the hard questions. You have to dig into it more than the next person, right? Because you want to, because you need to, and because people want that. They just don't know they want it.
Hey, welcome back to another Black City Coffee vlog. In this video, just going to be about designing. So I met with Nathan, my designer, and I'm really excited about where this is going. It's really one of the best things about having somebody on the outside looking in, and somebody who really cares about your brand and what you're trying to do and help you build, which is, definitely exactly what I was asking for maybe 2 years ago, was somebody who can distill, right? Keep talking about this word distill these ideas kind of down to the core of what you want to communicate to your customer, and also set you up for success as you keep evolving and you keep growing. And what's so cool is that when you have somebody like this in your corner, and it's not cheap, it's not a cheap thing, but when you're ready to invest and when you're ready to take the time, and I think I really believe in a matter of good timing of things, like all in good time. When you're ready to do these steps, you can't always force them. You can't always be in a super duper hurry, right? Even though Nathan is really acquiescing to my, I think, powerful in that, somebody who can kind of direct you. The designs that I saw yesterday from Nathan were really simple. It went to show me that I didn't have to be so loud with design, and I didn't have to take up every single space that was given to me. And this idea of design, I was watching over the video again, and it was really showing to me that I don't need to be so loud in design elements, in maybe a lot of things, to be effective and also to be different, which really calls to my, introverted self. And this sort of clash that I think I have when I think I need to be bigger than life or perform in a way. And how sometimes my actions may be ego-driven versus what I really want to do is build the community and really communicate and give you a piece of my heart with like every content I make, every bag of coffee that I make. And how do we communicate that and put that into a label? And what does that look like? How is that interpreted? And it was interesting. I didn't tell Nathan this, but I think it's interesting to share here, is that my first inclination when I first saw the logos, I thought it was going to be this, like, I don't know. I really don't know, but I think my expectations were really askew. And when I finally was hearing and listening and being open and not kind of leading with ego and not leading with like, oh, how freaking like graphical can we get? Or how artsy can we get? When I was able to quickly push that aside, which because of timing, I don't know if I would be able to do that as easily. And I could feel myself going, well, what about color? Well, what about graphical elements? What about art? And then as I was sitting there listening and being open, I was like, this is art. This is graphical. This is exactly what I need. And so this sort of like distilling down and letting the beautiful simplicity of what simply needs to be communicated, instead of throwing on top of it a lot of stuff that maybe is, what I consider to be kind of fluffy. I'm not fluffy. I talk a lot, but I'm not fluffy. So I think in a really uncanny and really cool way, he's gone above and beyond, or maybe he's done exactly what he's supposed to do as a really good designer, which is to understand exactly who I am and whittle all of that fluffy stuff away and get right down to the beautiful, simplistic, and most effective dose of what needs to be on the label, while still being true to the brand, considering what he calls the ecosystem of Black City Coffee. And I've been slowly thinking about this since our meeting the other day. And I think this work of asking the hard questions, not doing the trendy thing, not doing what everybody else is doing, and really, really trying to dig deep and find ownership in design, so that you can communicate exactly what you're trying to communicate, right? Which is this is the game. This is the game of business, where it's like so many people trying to communicate and give to them exactly what they need while giving them what they want. I was unsure about how to make today's video and kind of how to talk about it. But instead of me getting hung up on like, should I make a video? Is it presentation worthy? I want to try to do the same in that I want to communicate effectively exactly what I just feel, be honest with it, and maybe inspire, so many of you guys are DMing me and saying, you've inspired me to start my own company. You've inspired me to start my own business. And many of you are doing and roasting a lot more coffee than I am. Like, you're leaps and bounds further along in your roasting journey. So to say that I've inspired you is definitely inspiring me, because I kind of want to be where you are. So it's cool. Like, we have this cycle, of inspiration. So I don't know. It was really kind of eye opening. I thought again that I was going to be this. We need to go hard. We need to be graphical. We need to be all this stuff, and maybe that's there in the future. And right now, it was, the rebrand was about creating better coffee, also getting a better logo for sure. That could take us to the next step, to the next step, to the next step. And now with the label, again, while still having room for expansion or growth or whatever, which, we're not done yet. It's basically the first round. We've got maybe 2 or 3 rounds, he mentioned. And I'm sort of like surrendering to the process of letting the best iteration of this design come through, instead of me coming in with, don't we need to be colorful? Don't we need to be graphical? Don't we need to be artsy? Because they're doing it. So it's really a nice practice and discipline into who we really are as a company, instead of being swayed or influenced too much by what's already done. And we really need to find out who we are on the fronts of design, on the fronts of bag labels, on the fronts of website presentation. And all of this stuff is a part of this core foundation, as we grow into a roastery and possibly in the future a cafe, right? Way in the future. But this practice, this work of like making the decision to have a black and white label, and then how does that play into colors of bags and colors of this, and how do we keep communicating that? So I know that's very ethereal and maybe a little too like floating in the air, not really grounded in real things that I could tell you, like 5 tips, 5 things, not as easily digestible, because that therein lies the work. That if you listen to this and maybe you're going through a similar experience, or you're about to make maybe big design decisions in your business, and you're thinking about investing in a designer, or thinking about investing in a, I don't know, consultant, thinking about doing all these things that maybe cost money, money and time and energy and effort. It's the idea of really, I hope, inspiring you to really nail down who you are. And maybe that's the wrong word. It's really like uncovering who's always been there. I always feel like that. Like when I was listening to Nathan and he was explaining why he chose that design, or this first iteration, right? Like it'll keep kind of changing. And he was talking about emboss elements and a typeface that has been used over and over again, but also in a weird way, medieval and elegant. Simplicity, a sort of minimalism. I already do that. I do that in my wardrobe. I do that kind of like in how I present myself. I'm very minimal. I don't put on a lot of makeup. So it kind of plays into the person who I naturally am in a normal state, in a regular state. Long form reading, inviting one to read, to be curious, slow down, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. It was just such a great reminder to slow down. I have a propensity of sometimes going too fast, missing things. My entrepreneur personality is quick start, which makes things feel a little jumbled and a little too not cohesive. So this was such a great practice, I feel like, to rein it in, remember my cores and values, remember who I am, stop looking at other influences that aren't even me, taking ownership of that, and really just like being me and me in Black City and executing Black City's core values, and having that emanate and touch everything. So labels, website, photos, all the things that I already am. They just need to be shown now and presented that way. That's it. Do you. I need to be me. I'm listening over the recording because we recorded it and everything. And, I shared that little clip in there. I hope that inspires you. I feel like this video is definitely just up there, just in the philosophy realm. And hopefully it churns something within you that helps you, that empowers you to be you, right? So that's the goal of this video. We discovered it. Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow in the next one. We're cupping, we're scoring, we're profiling, we're putting in the work. And I think by this weekend, we're going to be able to actually put some stuff up on the website. Cross your fingers. I think so. We're moving pretty quickly, and yet somehow it feels like not fast enough. All right, cool. See you in the next one.